Cam Newton goes after Shedeur Sanders. Controversy continues for the rookie Cleveland Browns quarterback. The Cleveland Browns have started the season 0-2, which isn't much of a surprise. They were projected to have the worst record in the NFL and to own the #1 overall pick in next year's draft, a draft expected to feature plenty of quarterback talent. It's very possible the Browns will be searching for a new quarterback, potentially under a new general manager and head coach. Rumors have already begun that this could be the final year for GM Andrew Berry and head coach Kevin Stefanski. For now, focusing on the present, Week 2 saw Dillon Gabriel make his NFL debut during the blowout loss to the Baltimore Ravens, where he threw a touchdown pass. Despite fans already calling for Gabriel to start in Week 3, Stefanski has stated that Joe Flacco will remain the Browns' starting quarterback. Still, the veteran of 18 seasons appears to be running out of time. Cam Newton criticizes Shedeur Sanders. Before the Week 2 matchup between the Browns and Ravens, ESPN's Adam Schefter reported that Shedeur Sanders told Baltimore he did not want to be selected in the 2025 NFL Draft. According to the report, Sanders didn't want to be on a team with Lamar Jackson. The revelation sparked widespread criticism, including from former NFL quarterback Cam Newton. Speaking on ESPN, Newton said the ideal situation for Sanders would be to sit behind Lamar Jackson and learn from a quarterback who might be the best in the league and is already a two-time MVP. Since Schefter's report, the criticism of Shedeur Sanders hasn't let up. On top of that, it was reported last week that the rookie isn't being developed by the Browns, isn't being included in their plans, and that practice squad quarterback Bailey Zappe has received more attention than Sanders. The Browns will face the Green Bay Packers next, followed by the Detroit Lions. We might soon see Dillon Gabriel as the starter, and if he falters, Shedeur Sanders' turn could come. Things will certainly get interesting in Cleveland, even if they're projected to be the league's worst team. The NFL thrives on drama, and sometimes that drama doesn't even happen between the white lines. As the 2025 season unfolds, one of the most compelling storylines isn't about touchdowns, interceptions, or playoff races. It's about the clash of generations, former MVP Cam Newton versus Cleveland Browns rookie quarterback Shedeur Sanders. What started as offhand comments has ballooned into a full-blown controversy, dragging in fans, analysts, teammates, and even legends of the game. The Browns hoped that drafting Sanders, the son of Hall of Famer Deion "Primetime" Sanders, would spark a new era. Instead, they've landed in the middle of a culture storm. And Cam Newton, never one to bite his tongue, is at the very heart of it. The flashpoint. It began with a podcast appearance. Cam Newton, fresh off a stint of media tours where he often positioned himself as a truth-teller about the quarterback fraternity, was asked about the new wave of young quarterbacks. Caleb Williams, Drake May, Michael Penix Jr., and Shedeur Sanders all came up in the conversation. Newton's tone shifted noticeably when Sanders' name was mentioned. "Shedeur's got talent, no doubt. But I don't see the grind. I see the brand." "There's a difference," Newton said, leaning into the mic with the gravitas of someone who once carried the Carolina Panthers to a Super Bowl. The comment made the rounds instantly, clipped into highlight reels across social media. Newton wasn't done, though. Days later, he doubled down in an Instagram Live session. "Look, man, I respect Deion, that's Coach Prime, but this league ain't about who your daddy is. It's about putting your head down and earning it. I don't think Shedeur ready for that smoke." Those words landed like a punch. Sanders, already under intense scrutiny as the starting quarterback for the Browns, suddenly found himself in a media firestorm fueled by one of the most polarizing figures in modern football history. Shedeur's response. If Cam thought Shedeur would stay quiet, he underestimated the Sanders DNA. The Browns' rookie quarterback addressed Newton's remarks during a media availability session after practice. "I respect Cam, he did a lot for the game. But at the end of the day, I'm not trying to be Cam. I'm trying to be me. People have been doubting me my whole life, saying I was only here because of my dad. Guess what? I'm here anyway." The soundbite went viral, and the tension escalated. Fans dissected every word. Was Shedeur being dismissive of Newton's critique? Or was this just a young quarterback showing necessary confidence? Either way, it became clear that this wasn't going to die quietly. Cleveland in the crossfire. For the Cleveland Browns, this controversy couldn't have come at a worse time. The team had already been through a carousel of quarterbacks in recent years, from Deshaun Watson's inconsistent tenure to Joe Flacco's late career cameo. Drafting Shedeur Sanders was supposed to bring stability, a fresh start. Instead, the organization now found itself answering questions about Cam Newton's opinions instead of third-down conversions. Head coach Kevin Stefanski tried to cool things down. "We're focused on what we can control. Shedeur's working hard every day, learning the system, earning his teammates' trust. Outside noise is just that, noise." But the outside noise seeped in. NFL Network ran a week-long segment on Cam versus Shedeur. Talk shows debated whether Newton was right to call out the rookie. Former players chimed in, with some siding with Cam's perspective on work ethic, while others argued he was unfairly targeting Sanders. Why Cam Newton struck a nerve. To understand why Newton's words resonated so strongly, one has to consider his own legacy. Cam wasn't just a quarterback, he was a cultural force. The 2015 MVP season, the dab, the Superman celebrations, he changed the way the position was perceived. But Newton also knows what it feels like to be doubted, even after success. His late career was marred by questions about his mechanics, durability, and commitment. In some ways, his criticism of Sanders felt like projection, warning the young QB not to repeat his mistakes. Yet, the difference between Cam's era and Shedeur's is stark. Sanders came into the NFL already a brand, thanks to nil deals, social media presence, and his father's legendary status. To old-school players, that can look like entitlement. To younger fans, it looks like evolution. The locker room dynamic. Inside the Browns' locker room, the situation created subtle tension. Veterans like Amari Cooper and Nick Chubb kept their focus on the field, but whispers circulated. Was Shedeur too caught up in his image? One anonymous player reportedly told a Cleveland beat writer, "He's talented, no question. But when you see the cameras around, you wonder if it's about ball or about likes." On the flip side, several rookies rallied behind Sanders. Wide receiver Cedric Tillman posted on Instagram, "We ridin' with 14 Sanders. People can talk, but he putting in work." The divide wasn't destructive, but it was noticeable. And in the high-pressure world of the NFL, perception can shape reality. Deion Sanders enters the chat. No Shedeur controversy stays fully contained without primetime weighing in. Deion Sanders addressed Newton's remarks during a press conference at Colorado, where he was preparing his Buffaloes for another college season.